Hello, and welcome to episode 17 of the Rise Fitness and Nutrition Podcast. I am your very best, absolutely favorite host, Carlo. Today, I would like to talk with you about the reason why I think comparisons are silly and my method to try to make them sound reasonable and avoid making you feel down. So please have a good listen and enjoy. They look better than me. They have better shapes, they have better curves, they have better six-pack, they have better glutes, they have better XYZ. Sounds like a familiar voice in the back of your head? Listen, I understand, as I have been there too, and I'm often back in that uneasy mindset where you feel that your body is inadequate to the standards that are pushed around by the media you and I consume on a daily basis. And this is unfair. It is unfair in the first place and detrimental in the long term, as it drags you and I into a spiral of unhealthy self-loathing and dissatisfaction that, believe me, does more harm than good. Now, being dissatisfied about something in yourself is not necessarily a terrible thing if it pushes you to start a healthy journey to a better you. See, the point is that a bit of fire under your butt gets you moving. And when you move towards your goal, even if it is one single step at a time, if you do it consistently, it will take you a long way, a long distance, and it will help you achieving great things. Sure, this is easier said than done. Clearly, this is a positive thing, but there is a fine line between something that can motivate you and something that wants to crush you down. Where is this border? Where is this fine line? This is inside of you, but is drawn by the standards that are forced in your mind and that somehow take control of the driving wheel and decide your direction instead of you. Yeah, this might sound a little bit too flimsy, so to explain you what I mean, follow my train of thoughts. Let's make an experiment together. Open your Instagram or any other similar app that you use now. What's in your feed? You probably have your friends, your family, and then you mostly probably have influencers to a certain degree. Now, why do you follow them? Is it because what they have to say? Is it because how they look like? Hey, it's normal to follow someone based on the fact that this person is attractive and posts beautiful pictures of his or her life, his or her perfect body. My question to you is, how does this make you feel? When you see that amazing trip pictures, when you see her or his apparently perfect body, perfect partner, and supposedly perfect life, how does this make you feel? It's a slippery slope here, and I'm sure that you are aware that what people show publicly is just a small part of their life, and mostly probably it is staged with the right angle, the right camera, the right filter. But on the other hand, when you watch these people and then you look at your life, it has the feature of being reality in all of its sides. The goods, the bads, the boring, the amazing ones, the hard ones. How does it make you feel? Does it make you feel inadequate? The real hook to the jaw here is, how does it make you feel about your current body? Good or yikes? It takes us 10 seconds to point out at least 5 things that we don't like about our body. And more than often, maybe 2 or 3 times that amount of time, to find good things about it that we like and that we love and that makes us feel, say, in a way, proud. Don't believe me? Give it a try and let me know. I want to tell you something about me. Now it's 2021, I am 34 years old, and as things are now, I am around 72 kilos and 170 centimeters tall. I'm bald. Surprise, surprise. And I started losing hair during the last couple of years of high school, somewhat around 2005 or 2006. And I tried to hold on as much as I could until I finally gave up on them in the summer of 2015. Losing hair is quite common in men, and you see this every day. If it is in your DNA, it's something you can't do anything about it. You cannot change it. They just go and you're left dealing with the consequences of seeing them diminish day by day, looking at your hairstyle becoming harder and harder to take care of, while seemingly Everyone else has still all of them on their head, rocking crazy haircuts that make them look so confident, while you look exactly like a guy who's balding, but believes nobody is noticing it. But hey, everybody does. It's just they don't tell you anything about it. Most of them. Except good friends. Good friends tell you. Hair loss sucks. There's no way around it. And it sucks when you're an adult. Put this into perspective of a teenager or of a man in his 20s. It's even worse. Now, as I said before, I'm 170 centimeters and something tall. I'm not exactly a giant. I'm not exactly short. Just somewhere in that gray area of like, yeah, you're tall-ish. In my 20s, I was around 64 kilos. So everyone else around me looked and was taller than me, with a fancy haircut, a built body, and a great confidence. And I was not that confident in me at all. And as we all do, I kept making the wrong comparisons that, as a feedback, made me feel even worse. I started training my body without a direction, ended up with some improvement, sure, but also quite the injuries along the way. The negative feedback voices kept on coming and going, and at a point I kind of left it like a background noise in my thoughts, thinking that that was the only way to cope with it. Fast forward to today, I am still 170 something centimeters, duh. I am still bald, well probably I'm bolder, if there's a thing, but I'm proud of it. And I am working daily towards the best version of me, learning how to be stronger and healthier little by little. The negative feedback from comparison, yeah, is there, trying to hold me down and push me back, but I found a smarter way to cope with it that I want to share with you in hope that this might help you as well. I want to say right away that I hate the cliche that says, "You're perfect as you are, there's nothing wrong about you." I am sorry, not so sorry, but this irritates me a lot. To me, it sounds dull, and it sounds like you have no reason to aim to be a better version of you as you are already there. Now, I don't believe in perfection at all, but I believe in aiming to becoming better piece by piece, day by day, consistently. I have confidence in the fact that we all have a base of features that are unique to us, and that we need to capitalize on them to improve ourselves rather than use them as a way to drag us down. What is my weapon against self-loathing? Taking comparison by the things that they are, most of the time useless and pointless. Now, why do I say so? Can you compare an apple with a table?
But that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, exactly. Now, can you compare yourself with a person you don't know that is sitting next to you in the train or the metro? Yeah, probably yes, but does it make any sense? It doesn't. Listen, I can spend the day pointing out my flaws. If I compare the current me with my height, my weight, my muscle strength to a bodybuilder, would it make any sense? Not at all. Why? Well, because I am a table and he is an apple. What I want to say is that every time you and I make a comparison with someone else that we think it's better looking, in a better shape than us, or whatnot, we are comparing two entirely different things that have nothing in common but the fact that we are humans the same way. And it doesn't matter if you actually know this person. It doesn't matter. More on this. We are comparing things that we have no control on versus things that we can control. I have no control of my height. I have no control of my hair loss, my baldness, and that's a fact. I do have control of my body weight and my strength levels, and on this, I can make the only comparison that makes sense, that is with me and me only. And if there is something that is not moving according to my goals, I can work on it to make it better. And so can you. End of the story. What I'm trying to explain here is that the only benchmark you can use to make any comparison with is yourself, your journey until now, and how you stand in reference to the goal that is driving you forward. We are humans, right? And our brain is tricky. Anyone else it tries to put in the benchmark with you makes no sense. Never ever forget about it, as you have no idea of their journey. You have no idea of their goals, how they feel, and most importantly, you have no control whatsoever of what's going on their side. If anyone tries to compare you with someone else, you have the right to tell them to go F themselves. And if they ask you why or how dare you, well, share with them this podcast and they will understand. As I mentioned in a previous podcast, past you versus future you is the comparison that matters. And this is the only one thing that I like you to bring home from this podcast. But let me give you another tool. If, like me, you work out at the gym, doing strength training and weightlifting, here is another great way to put immediately any comparison to a way different scale. Some time ago, I was talking to a friend of mine. He's a big guy, around 190 centimeters and 90 kilos. And I was explaining him that I happily reached a new strength goal because my deadlift improved and I finally made it to reach 60 kilos. Mind you, I have never ever deadlifted in my whole life, so at that time I was starting little by little. And I was happy about it. I was feeling strong and proud in a way. But this guy laughed about it. As for him, oh, it's a warm-up weight for me. And that made me feel from happy about it to feel it was actually a poor performance. Did this ever happen to you? So here is how I immediately put this useless comparison into the right perspective. I calculate the ratio between the weight I lift and my body weight, and everything makes much more sense. Going back to my 60 kilos deadlift example, at that time I was around 69 kilos, so the ratio that I calculated was 60 divided by 69, which was 0.86 or 86% of my body weight with a single deadlift. And then I took this and I made the same type of calculation for my friend. So in his case, to lift 86% of his body weight would have been 70 kilos. And that, for me, would have been equal to 111% of my body weight, which is quite the difference, huh? Going from 86% of my body weight to 111, it is quite a jump. That's why comparing my weights to his weight didn't make any sense. Do you understand what I mean here? Next time you're caught in such a silly talk to see who is lifting heavier, don't compare kilos. That's silly. And it is not the right data to look at. Compare the lift to body weight ratio and everything gets in a way better perspective. If I lift my body weight with a deadlift, which is 70 something kilos, and maybe you are 50 kilos and you tell me you can lift only 50 kilos and I laugh at you, I'm an idiot. Because we are both lifting 100% of our body weight. And that is astonishing, that is amazing. And this type of thought is what made me define my hip thrust goal as 3 times my body weight versus saying that I want to lift a specific amount of kilos. Because for some people this might be okay, for some others might be different. So I just want to go 3 times my body weight. And that is the only thing that to me sounds reasonable. What do you think about it? Yep, that's it for today. As easy as that. What do you think about this idea behind the comparison? Is it helpful to you? Is it not? Let me know on my Instagram page at thecarl.fit. Also, on a side note, if you're listening to my podcast on Apple Podcast and you're enjoying my content, a 5-star review will be greatly appreciated. Share the love. Have a nice rest of the week, everybody.